So I've just been in a session called Climate Crimes, and it's about how the film industry can use their power and media to influence our behaviour. And I was particularly taken by Val here, who got up to ask a question and said, I need your help for the project I'm doing. And she is with an organisation called Learn with Grandma. So tell me, Val, about your project.
Well, I started it. Basically, it's my retirement project. It is a registered charity, a registered not-for-profit. But I was 74 when I died, and had a cardiac arrest following open heart surgery. And I thought it was time to retire. And the surgeon said, "No, you're the wrong type. You need a project." So I restarted a project, Learn with Grandma, which is basically about, I've got skills that young people don't have, and they have skills I need. I'm not good at technology, I use it, but I never open the bonnet.
Right. So what's brought you to COP?
I was invited to speak on Friday, the 12th, by the Commissioner for Future Generations in Wales, because I couldn't have a big party for my 80th, which I was a bit miffed about, and I put this miff on Facebook, and a young man in Malawi said, Jonas, said, "Grandma, we'll have a planting day on your birthday." And I thought, oh, I love that. And so I started floating it around the world, and it's gone around the world. Never imagined I'd be the kind of person that would do something like that. Then Climate Cymru asked me if I would be an ambassador, so that's how the Commissioner for Future Generations got to hear about me, and to say, would I come and talk about Plant a Tree for Granny at her session.
Excellent. So Learn with Grandma is international.
Learn with Grandma, there are 46 countries around the world. We've got Learn with Grandma groups on Facebook, yes.
That's great. And are you surprised how big it's grown, or?
Shocked is the word. This was supposed to be something to keep my brain occupied in this COVID situation. Because having had the heart trouble, I need to keep active physically and mentally. My physical exercise is walking and dancing. I love to dance, and not serious stuff. I just do bopping about, you know. And then I started this project, never expecting that it would take up so much time. And it's hard to keep up with it, but what I do is really very simple. I can't send people money, so what I do is I see things they need, and then I share ideas that are affordable, achievable, and sustainable. As an example, handmade sanitary towels. Many girls, particularly in countries like Africa, the developing countries, miss school because they don't have sanitary wear. And my gran made my first sanitary towels. We didn't have disposables in my day. But the thing is, disposables aren't actually disposable. You have to dispose of them. But washable ones are very good for the environment. And if you use recycled material, my granny used one of her old wincey 90s. But if you use recycled material, then the cost is the thread.
Yes, absolutely. And it's interesting you talk about that, because at Word Forest we have a project where we sent over sewing machines and instructions for making sanitary, because we recognised that in where they were in Kenya, exactly, they didn't, they couldn't go to school, and there was, so we solved the problem they had.
Well, one of the good things about the handmade ones is that you can also do it at home. Great if you can have a group, but because of COVID, we had to pull back a bit from the group idea and encourage girls and young women to sew at home. But the beauty of a film is they don't have to understand English to understand it, because they can see what they've got to do. We tend to think that they don't understand, but actually film is a very good method of communication, as they were doing in that programme that we went to see.
Absolutely. So what's inspired you, what you've seen at the COP so far? Has anything particularly inspired you?
Well, I've just come out of a session which was very inspiring. Again, it's Africa. Learn with Grandma is not just in Africa. It's from Australia to Canada. There's a very good group in the USA. There's many countries, but this morning was also about Africa. And a young lady there who had been educated via the ComFed, which is a wonderful organisation which helps educate girls who might otherwise come out of school. And she started a business about drying food because, an awful lot of food we're throwing away. I was born in the war. I don't remember it. I was born in 1941. We were not allowed to waste any food. And it's shocking to me that we throw away so much food. And even in these developing countries, it's a double waste there because they're losing income as well. But if they learn to dry the food, then that prolongs the life of the food in a natural way.
Yes, absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
not using fridges, it's not using technology again, it's drying it naturally. I don't know that much about it yet, but I'll be finding out.
Yes, absolutely. And Val, what are your hopes for the future going forward?
I'm an old lady. I don't act it, and I'm still very active mentally and physically, and I'm not going to give in ever. Well, on my deathbed I'll give in. Learn with Grandma will not survive unless it becomes an international foundation. And I don't have a clue how to set up an international foundation, but that's what I want to do. Somebody starts these things. Your friend started Word Forest. A bloke in Switzerland started the Red Cross. A vicar in Oxfam started Oxfam. Someone starts these things, and I know I may not seem the right kind of person, but I've been and gone and done it.
Yes. I think that's a really inspirational message, and I think we have all got a part to play. And we don't know where things are going to develop, do we? We start, and from small ideas come mighty oaks. I think that's a bit of an analogy, but back to trees. But it's been wonderful talking to you, and I will remember you and this conversation and my cop for a very long time. Thank you so
Actually,
much.
before you go, that is so funny, because one of the films I've got is me planting an oak tree under a 300-year-old oak tree.
Oh wow, there we go.
I'll send you that link.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for your time, and look forward to hearing more about it in the future.
Have I told you my name? It's Valerie Wood Gaiger, which is very easy. Val Wood Gaiger. I'm the only Valerie Wood Gaiger in the world, so I'm dead easy to find. And Learn with Grandma is also easy to find. Simple language.
Excellent. Thank you.